Hi everyone, this is Linda, and I'm going to show you hopefully a couple of different things that maybe you didn't know Spiro Wizard did, and we're going to do that. I'm going to try and create this little coaster. You could use it as a coaster, you could use it as anything, but I'm going to show you how to add some applique fabric to the back too, so you can actually cut it on your cutter. So let's get started. I have a nice clean screen. We're going to go to the Create tab. We're going to go to Spiro, and we're going to create this pretty quick little design. So the size hoop I'm using is the 150 by 150, but I'm going to make this design 125. I'm going to leave it at 100% here, and I don't care about the color because we're going to change all of that along the way. We're going to change this to being 6. We're going to have option number 2 as far as the petal type. We're going to change this here, which is curvature, to 22. We're going to change the rotation, stay at 0. It's not going to hurt anything for what we're doing. But the number of lines I want to use is 5. Right now it's kind of a big old mess, and what we're going to do is we're going to separate some of this. We're going to do curvature spacing, which is this here. See if I slide my mouse over the top, and I'm going to change that to 20. Kind of a little bit prettier, not quite the same as what we were doing. Now initially, if you noticed on my other one, there was only 3 lines, but it really came out too busy for what I wanted to do, so I changed that to 5 so that I get a nice smooth outside edge, and then I'm going to get rid of some of this in here. Now I want to do, the rotation offset should stay at 0, and we're going to do OK. So there's my initial Spiro, but we're going to make lots of changes to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a right mouse. I'm going to do Edit and Stitch Editor. I'm going to go to the View tab because one of the first things I want to do is I want to get this into 2D stitches so that I can actually, if I zoom in, you can actually see this. Let me show you real quick. So see, if I zoom in, you see these little dots. Hopefully I may have to go a little bit closer here. See the little dots? Those are each individual stitches. And so what I'm going to do is we need to pay attention to some of those for what we're doing. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to start inserting some color changes. So I'm going to leave this zoomed in so you can kind of see, and I can move that up and down over here. I am going to actually watch this stitch, and I want to get to the point where I just have that center piece. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. And I want to get so that I see where that first jump is to the next Spiro. So to do that, I'm just going to move my little slider bar just a little bit. And see how it's starting to go to the next? I need to move this one so it's hidden. And now this line that's here allows me to easily go to the Modify tab, do Insert Color command, and I can actually select that jump there and add a new color. Now the colors are not as important, but it's nice to know that I can change this up a little bit. We're going to do OK. I'm again going to watch this again. I'm going to watch it sew until it gets to the point where it starts to jump up again, and I can hide all this if I want to. I'm going to my insert color command is still there. I'm going to just select on that jump there, and I'm just going to pick out another color. Again, I'm going to watch this go and stitch out. Now, I might have to get to the point, yep, I have to go and I have to slide this up a little bit. And now I want to do the same thing. Insert a color change. Do OK. And I'm going to watch the stitch out again. And when it goes to do this next one, I need to do an insert jump, or insert another color change. Like I said, it's not a big deal about what the colors are, but it sure makes it easier. So now I have 5 lines, 5 different colors. Makes it a whole lot easier. Now I can do draw all colors, or draw all stitches. And then what we can do is we're going to start making some changes. I've inserted my colors, but I need to go so that I can actually start separating these much easier and making lots of changes. So I'm going to go over to the Home tab, and I'm going to put Zoom to Fit. So that's that little 4 arrows that are down there so I can see the whole thing. And I actually want to zoom in just a little bit so I can see this a little bit better. All right. Now what I need to do is I need this outside edge to be totally and completely separate from everything else. So I'm going to uncheck everything but that last item. And I'm going to do Select All Visible. And I'm going to do a cut and then I'm going to do this little drop down, and I'm going to paste as design. So now what's happened is I now have this one, and I'm going to make all my colors visible again. This one, and then I have this one, which is totally separate because that's where I'm going to add some satin stitches. So now I have this one selected. I now need just this. I need to start thinking about getting rid of some of these other ones because it gets so busy, and I definitely want this center one because I'm going to put candle wicking stitches in that one. The second one I don't want. I'm just going to uncheck everything here, and I'm going to do select all visible, and I'm going to do delete. So let's view all the colors again. Again, it's going to skip that last one that's out here. The other one I want to get rid of is actually this one here. I could leave it there if I wanted to, but I'm going to get rid of it too because I think it just adds too much to it. So I'm going to go in and and I did do all those color changes just because that makes it really easy to get rid of things. Select all visible, and I'm going to do delete. So let's see what this looks like so far. So now I have this outside piece and this inside piece, but I need this piece to be just a little bit bigger. So I'm going to close my light view, and that was my second color. So I'm going to make sure that one's selected. I'm going to do select all visible. I'm going to make sure resize is selected, so it's going to change things like I need them to, and I'm going to do a Control Shift and hold them at the same time so that it actually makes it a little larger. Now I know that you see my mouse still has that little icon, and you can do a right mouse to get rid of that. But all I did was make that just a little bit larger. So I'm now going to look and see what this whole thing looks like. So that spread that out just a little bit. I kind of like it a little bit better. So now the next thing I need to do is I'm going to change some properties about the different parts of the design. And the first one I'm going to do is I want to get this one here, and I want to change that one so the candle wicking is there. I'm going to go to the Object tab. I'm going to just click on here. You see the little dots? That's going to allow me now to do a right mouse button, and I can say convert from running stitch to motif line. And then I'm going to change this group to who's far enough. I'm sorry, I'm going to leave it at universal. Sorry about that. I'm going to do candle wicking 2. I'm going to leave it at this size, and all I need to do now, the other thing I need to do is I need to spread these out. If I left it like this, I'm going to show you what happens. I'm going to zoom in so you can see that. See how close those are all? I don't want them quite that close, so I'm going to do a right mouse button. This time I'm going to select Edit Motif Line, and I'm going to change that to like 2.5, 3. Play with it, see what works for you. I'm going to do OK. So that spread them out just a little bit better. And I'm going to go up to Light View and see what that looks like. So now there's my candle wicking stitches. Looks good. Now the next thing I need to do is I'm going to go back home. I'm going to draw all colors. Now if you notice, this outside one isn't showing. This one's still good. I could actually go into the object and actually change that to a triple stitch if I wanted to. I'm not going to. I'm just leave it like this. But this is the one I'm most interested in now. This would be my tack down stitch for my applique, or my placement stitch for my applique. I'm going to leave it just like that. But what I want to do is I'm going to do select all visible, and I'm going to do copy, do that drop down, and do paste as design. So now I have another one. I'm going to change the color. Makes it really easy to swap between things. Doesn't matter what it is. But I need to change that one. I'm going to go to the object. I'm going to slide my mouse over till I get those little dots, and then I'm going to click on it, right mouse, and then I'm going to change that to a running stitch with a double zigzag. So that's going to tack down my fabric. I don't care about those sizes. That you can change those if you want to. All right. The next thing I need to do is, again, I need to do the same thing. I'm going to go home. I'm going to get a third one, and I'm going to do select all visible, and I'm going to do paste as design, and now I have that one. I'm going to change the color again, and I'm just going to change it to a bright red. We're going to go back to the Object tab, slide my mouse over, clicks. Once I see those little dots, I'm going to click on it, right mouse. I'm going to make it a satin line, and I'm actually going to make this like a 3.0. I don't want it too thick. Do OK. I now have a satin line. I'm going to go back home. Draw all stitches. I'm going to see what this looks like. Right now I don't have the applique fabric, but you see what I'm showing you? We're going to close that. We're going to close out of here, and now I'm back at the main part of the software embroidery. The order I need this to stitch is I need this one, which is that first stitch, which was my placement line. I'm going to slide that up to the top. This one is, once that placement line is done, I need it to actually, after I lay my fabric down, I need it to actually go in and hold that fabric in place. Then I can stitch all of this. Then I can stitch that satin stitch. Now, if I wanted to add like fabric to the back so it kind of makes it more like a coaster so it covers it up, I could actually duplicate this and actually insert here. So I'm going to do a right mouse and I'm going to do copy, and I'm going to do a paste. But I want it to do it. I want it to actually stitch after all these decorative stitches stitch. So now I could lay another piece of fabric to the back side of it. Underneath the stabilizer, it would tack it in place. I could stop, cut away fabric away from that outside edge, then do the satin edge to make it nice and smooth. But I'm going to change this color so it doesn't try and color sort on me. All right, so it's going to stitch this. Let's watch it play. We're going to do watch it play. It's going to do my first stitch to tell me where I need to lay my fabric. Then it's going to do the tack down stitch. Then it's going to do that candle wicking in the center. Then the next stitch. Then it's going to do another stitch, and then it's going to do my satin stitch, okay? So I want to be able to see the odd size things. I actually want to do that as an applique so that I can actually, or send that to a cutter. Right now I can't do that. But what I can do is I can actually go over to the applique tab. So now that I'm in the applique tab, I can't do express applique because it can't see the parts to automatically do it. So I'm going to go into applique outline, point line. I'm going to click on that first C that's right there because that's where I want it to be, because I want it to be outside edge. I'm going to click again, come around, and I'm going to use my shift key to get out to the point so I get nice pointed edge, and I'm just going to do this 3 times. There. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. When I'm done, I'm going to do a right mouse button. I'm going to bring in my fabric that I want to use. And there it is. So now what's going to happen, it won't have stop commands, but remember we've changed all these colors so it knows to stop so you can lay your fabric down. So it's actually going to stitch that first color, allow you to lay your fabric down that you want to use for the top. Then it's going to stitch this one down, which is your tack down. It's going to do all your decorative stitches. It's going to do this stitch, giving you an opportunity to lay fabric underneath. And then this is your satin stitch that's going to cover up all your edges. Now, I told you so that you can actually see that allows me to go in and actually print or send this to my cutter. I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Export Applique Pieces, and I can tell it where it needs to go. If I was going to print it, I could print it as a template so I could cut it out. But I just wanted you to know to do that, in order to get that, you've created an applique piece for allowing it to stitch. So, don't forget to go and export it, and don't forget to save it so you can come back for future use. Hope you do it and share pictures. Thanks.